Hey, and we're back with DATBOYMEDIA, and I got another special. Well, I got my first special co-host. What's going on, Mister?
Hey, this is Jason Coleman. They call me Jammin' Jason.
Hey, and what's your thing? You got Yard and Garden, right?
Yeah, so I have a thing. It's Yard and Garden at Yard and My Garden and yardandgarden.com, and we build raised bed edible gardens, sustainable, and you grow your own vegetables.
Oh, nice, nice. And I got the wonderful, we go way back, my partner, Mr. Mario Catfitness. What's going on, Mr. Catfitness?
What's happening? What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing this evening?
Yeah, buddy. So, what's going on, Mr. Catfitness? What you got going on? What's going on with Catfitness and everything, and how I got started?
Oh, well, man, just doing my thing, doing my what's the, how you say it? I got a tongue twister today.
I got that too.
Yeah, man.
A little bit of tongue twister, but it's all right.
A little tongue twister real quick. But nah, I've been in the community just educating people on a plant-based diet and all the nutritional value and getting back to the roots of how we traditionally should eat prior to, you know, slavery and things of that nature. So
well, you looking good. You glowing and everything. You looking good.
I appreciate that.
You're right.
All big and everything. Beans and rice. That's all it takes. And some fruit.
Now, I know that you're vegan, right?
Yeah. I've been going on 4 years almost.
4 years.
Yeah.
And what made you, so did you start off just as a vegan, or did you start off like as a vegetarian and then you went to vegan?
No.
Did you eat meat?
Yes.
Yo.
Yes, for 30 plus years of my life. And didn't really know what a vegan was 4 years ago, right? Since I've been in the health industry, a person came up to me and asked me the question about the vegan lifestyle as a trainer and what I would recommend. You know, because they were interested in transitioning, and they were like, hey, you know, I'm looking to become a vegan. You know, I'm a little bit concerned with where I get my protein and this and that, and what do you recommend? And I'm looking at him, my eyes get all big. I'm like, vegan? I was like, you mean vegetarian? He was like, nah, I mean vegan. I was like, vegan? I was like, nah, I don't really know what that is. He was like, you're a trainer, right? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you're supposed to know all that stuff, right? And I was like, yeah, but I'm not too familiar with the vegan lifestyle, right?
Okay.
So I told him, I said, let me look into it. Let me do some research, and I'll get back to you. And as I was doing my research, I was like, okay, let me try it out myself to see how I respond to this particular lifestyle change and, you know, give my honest opinion. And, you know, during the 30 days that I tried it, so many things started to kind of unlock within myself. Blockages started to open up. And I was like, wow, I came to a realization that food plays a bigger part internally than what we give credit to, right? So then ever since that day, I never looked back. So I didn't really go to the vegetarian. I just hopped in it just thinking it was going to be a 30-day trial, the vegan lifestyle. And, you know, 4 years down the line, I'm still at it.
Go ahead.
Oh, that really must have opened up some blockages.
Oh yeah, man. It was some things going on. You know, it's a lot of things that we really hold in internally that we don't really talk about in our community, mentally and spiritually, and those things start to clear up for me and make more sense. And I was able to see something that I was never able to see and come to the core. You know, sometimes we put a Band-Aid on a broken leg, right? We kind of patch things, but we don't get to the root of it.
Right.
And things that I was going through, once I started changing my nutrition, allowed me to get to the root of things. And I was like, man, this is something I need to share with my community, because I know a lot of people are going through it, and nobody has got into the root. Like, even when we go to the doctors, what do most people suffer in our community? High blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, all these things, right? Do they have cures for these things? No, they give us medicine, pharmaceuticals.
Right.
Pushing pills, right?
That's all they do.
But why? Why don't they have cures for these things?
Right.
Because it's a multi-billion-dollar business. They're making money off of us.
Right.
Exactly.
Especially
They're not gonna,
in our community.
in our community, they're pushing it. So it was like so many things and so many people that I've came across that reversed their type 2 diabetes, overcame cancer, just transformations with weight, all different types of things. And all it was really looking at the nutrition and getting back to the root of things where our ancestors really didn't eat meat like that. They had to when it was time to survive and the crops didn't come in, but that wasn't the bulk of their diet like it is in modern day right now. So just a little bit of education for the community and, just planting seeds and allowing people to go on their own journey because, everybody is in their own space.
Right. So are you saying that if you cut out meat, you'll become more healthier?
Yes.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Yeah.
First of all, just the things that they're putting in the meat nowadays. People say, well, my grandparents and my great-grandparents ate meat for 80 plus years and they're okay. Well, first of all, the quality of the meat that they ate was a whole different kind of meat. It wasn't injected with all the hormones and everything that's going on right now.
Antibiotics
and everything, and the living conditions of the animals. These animals are in warehouses, packed in there by the thousands, getting slaughtered. And knowing that they're getting slaughtered and all the hormones that are going through them that are releasing into their blood, into the meat, are affecting us. And secondly,
that's right.
And secondly, it wasn't our grandparents did have meat consumption, but they weren't eating as much meat as we are now. It's like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, everything's just meat based, right? Yeah. They might have had maybe one, maybe two meals with meat in it, but they were eating a lot of fruits, vegetables, grains, more than what we are doing. And especially with the processed food, we want everything right now.
Right. We get not even just the processed food, but just the hot Cheetos. I work at two jobs, and these kids they eat hot Cheetos for breakfast and Rice Krispie treats for dinner. It's like y'all not getting no type of nutrition.
Exactly, they're not getting kind of minerals or vitamins that the body needs to really develop, and then they're getting labeled as what's that, ADD and ADHD and all that. Problems. Yeah, them kids are starving. That's all that is. That's it. How am I going to sit down for hours at a time and I'm starving? You want me to sit still and pay attention this whole time?
Right. All I had is a bag of Cheetos.
Exactly, or what's those? The honey buns and a soda, grape soda or something like that.
Well, I mean they're pretty good.
Hey, sugar addiction is real, y'all.
It is.
It's like crack cocaine.
It is. Well, we're gonna allow people to get their soda and their water, hopefully some water.
Yeah, come on.
And then we're gonna go into a
spring
quick
water.
Spring water. There you go. And then we're gonna go into a quick music break, and then we're gonna still chat it up with Mr. Cat Fitness. Let's go. Protect your health.
It's not too much information in the inner city communities where I come from about plant-based. What I do is give them, easy ways or suggestions how they can cut back on certain things in their particular diet. It's easier for them to take the proper steps to start eliminating the meat and dairy in their current diets as long as they have something to substitute it with. And when you give them those fillers, now they have all the tools to have a more successful lifestyle.
And media productions, and I got Jason Coleman, Yard and Garden. I got the homie Cat Fitness dropping some gems on health and what we can do in our community to prevent these type of diseases such as diabetes, cancer, etc. And I got like some little statistics that I wanted to kind of like share. I got this off of hs.gov, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And this is from, I believe, 2019, I believe. And it's probably a couple of years older. So these are just some older statistics that I've seen that I thought were kind of interesting. And pretty much it's saying that African-American adults are 60% more likely than non-Hispanic white adults to have been diagnosed with diabetes by a physician. In 2016, non-Hispanic blacks were 3.5 times more likely to be diagnosed by the with the end of stage renal disease as compared to non-Hispanic whites. And also in 2017, African Americans were twice as likely as non-Hispanic whites to die from diabetes. So when you hear these type of statistics, Mr. Mario, what's going on in your mind with this?
Well, like I was saying before, when I started doing my research, it made me really think of where am I from, right? That's a question I had to ask myself, like, what do I know about self? And, you know, looking at my dad, my grandparents, and, you know, cousins and everybody, we're all suffering from the same thing, right? And what do we blame it on? Genetics, right? He was like, oh, diabetes runs in the family. High blood pressure runs in the family. And I was like,
But is that true, though?
No? Not so much. Not so much. It's a small percentage maybe, but not to the extent that we think it is,
Gotcha.
right? Poor eating habits definitely run in the family. Lack of exercise runs in the family. But the genetic part where you're just going to grow up and have type 2 diabetes, type 2 diabetes is actually can be reversible with nutrition, the proper nutrition and exercise versus type 1. Type 1 is the one.
That's what you were born with, right?
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, it was like, wow, like, you know what the history of America is when it comes to our cultures from slavery, right? It's like, what were we doing prior to that?
Right.
And it was like, okay, we come from warm tropical places where, you know, abundance of fruit and vegetables, where our ancestors were, that's what they were eating for the most part, like I was saying. And now some of us, depending on where our roots are from, you know, some were coastal people where they might have had some fish or whatever the case may be. But not a lot of them were eating, like I said, a bulk of meat and things of that nature.
Show wasn't eating hot Cheetos for breakfast either.
But you got to think of our counterparts, right? Where, you know, lighter complected people come from colder places, right?
Yeah.
Facts, right?
Yep.
Where they don't have the vegetables, the fruits and everything like we had. So they had to adapt to more meat-based diets, right? And over years, their bodies, their genetics changed to that. So they can eat a little bit more meat than we can and not have the exact same kind of effects.
Got you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So I was like, wow. I was like, and when we go to any family gathering, what do we see?
Fried chicken,
Macaroni,
ribs,
cheese, mac and cheese,
cornbread.
We know what's gonna be at the
15 type of desserts that you can choose from.
We
Some
know
homemade ice cream in there.
Yeah, we know what's gonna be at the gathering,
Some
right?
Nation's cheesecake. You feel me?
And that's at everybody's household, right? It doesn't vary too much, right? But we take ownership of it. We're like, well, you know, that's soul food. Well, it's more so of a slave diet, right? If we think about it, because we were getting thrown the scraps. We weren't allowed to get the proper nutrition at that time because, you know, they wanted to keep us at a lower frequency.
Right.
You know, they didn't want us to uprise and be strong and be healthy. They wanted us to be the working class.
Well, this speaks to me personally because I have a friend who was able to reverse his type 2 diabetes.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Through diet alone.
Yeah.
Only through diet.
Yeah.
He had it run in the family. That's what everybody kept saying. And once he started eating vegetables only, and he completely reversed his diet, it also reversed his type 2 diabetes, and he no longer has it.
That's beautiful, man. And it's more stories that I want people to share like that. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people think it's like almost like a death sentence. Once I have it, I have to just live with it. Right. And I just have to take the medication and deal with it, right? In reality, if you change the diet and implement some kind of exercise, it's going to go away. You know?
Nice. Yeah. Well, Mr. Cat Fitness, I thank you and appreciate you so much for dropping these gems on Durags and Conversations.
That was all good. I appreciate you guys inviting me out, man.
Dropping some real gems. Hopefully some people out there listening. And so before you leave, what's some of your social media contacts so people can get in contact with you?
Yeah, most definitely. You guys can find me on IG at CatFitness3. On Facebook at Cat Fitness, and I just launched my new website. It's www.catfitnesswellnesscenter.com.
Nice. All right, Mr. Fitness, thank you for so much for coming through.